Hello, everybody. Today we have with us Ms. Rose Robbie, the Training and Placement Coordinator at Jindal School of Hotel Management. Welcome to the College Dunya portal, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Ma'am, beginning with the interview, my first question to you is that being the Training and Placement Coordinator at JSHM, what are the roles and responsibilities of yours towards the institute as well as the students?
My primary responsibility is towards the students for placement and training. As a placement and training coordinator, is apply for job internships as well as job placements. Because in all hotel management colleges, I would say all hotel management colleges, internship is an integral part. So my responsibility is that, and we begin the whole process by first talking to the students. It's very important that we understand the students' vision for the future and hopes and aspirations before we begin the placement process. Because after all, it is a student who has to go to the workplace.
Right. So moving on, my next question to you is that how does Jindal School of Hotel Management ensure the best practices of the industry?
At JSHM, one is we do not partner with everyone. We have a very strict vetting process. And one of the reasons is because we believe there is a responsibility for mentorship and development of the students when they are an intern. The hotels or any organization cannot look at them as a source of cheating. One way we vet our industry partners is by meeting with them before we partner. And during that conversation, we try to understand their idea and we put in our expectations also about the mentoring and the development of the student during the internship. Now, this in some ways, people would say that you lose out on a lot of fun. Actually, we have not. On the contrary, we have built very strong industry partnerships with like-minded individuals. So we have the colleagues we have are the ones in the industry we have been working with them since 2007. As the hotels have expanded, their chains have expanded. We have just continued moving with those same hotel chains. Every year we do not look for newer hotel groups. And another thing, when our students are on internship, we are always in touch with them, and we also visit them during their internships.
That's very well said, ma'am. Moving on, my next question to you is that what are your views upon placements and higher education about the students from your department? Or to put it in other words, how does your department prepare students for higher education?
Like how I mentioned earlier, everything begins and ends with the student. So the first thing we do is we talk to students. JSHM, we have regular ongoing counselling. And as students move into the final year of the program, counseling sessions pick up in its intensity. The schedules are much more frequent. So we first give them the choice of either they can go for a job, apply for a career, or they can think of higher education. And depending on what the student chooses, because we advise them to pick up something which they see themselves doing at least for the next 5 years. We don't set up those very long 10-year, 20-year plans, but at least something which they can see the next 5 years. And depending on their aptitude, let's say a student wants to apply for a job, then we help them in preparing for an interview, helping them build a good resume, and then we go around looking for partners, because it always has to be something which they enjoy doing and they have a talent in. Now, in case of students who are applying or choosing to go for higher education, especially if they're going abroad, we help them to research the colleges, the programs which they are applying for, and then of course we help them with their letter of recommendation and statement of purpose. Because for us, we are very invested in our students. Very important that they're successful whatever they choose to do.
Right. So on that note, my next question is that the education system placed in India and foreign countries are structured very differently. So in your personal opinion, what can be an inbound student gain to the students studying here at Jindal School of Hotel Management?
As one of the things we do is we have a lot of assessments which are based on our Swiss partnerships. So our students have this advantage of independent study. which is very important when a student is applying for a master's program anywhere internationally, because they have to do a lot of independent study. And our students, right from the first year, in a smaller way, but they learn through a lot of independent study. They do a lot of group projects, because a master's thesis and those kind of projects would also mean that you have to learn and work with people from other cultures. So our subjects are geared for a student to work independently as well as in a group. So we feel our students definitely have the advantage of being prepared to do independent study.
That's pretty great. Without taking much of your time, I'd like to move to the last part of the interview and request you to give a few suggestions or advices to the current youth as well as the aspiring students.
This is something which we tell our students. I always tell them, pick up a job. No, the beginning of your career is your job. So pick up a job in which you actually have a talent and you also enjoy it. A lot of time, passion is not enough. Passion is not enough to ensure that you wake up Monday to Friday every day at the same time and you work. Because you also need to be skilled or talented in the area you choose to work. And material success is, of course, very, very important. I wouldn't deny it. But don't forget to have a life. At the end of the day, there has to be a work-life balance.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for those words of motivation. On this note, I'd like to conclude the interview. And that's all from our end. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That was Ms. Rose Robbie, the Training and Placement Coordinator at Jindal School of Hotel Management. Thank you for your time.